Cheers.
Welcome, everybody.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm talking about strawberries and stuff.
We're back for another episode, Bourbon, and we're going to continue our Henry McKenna. Our last episode was Henry McKenna, the 10-year. Remember that? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was like the last episode.
Yeah.
We filmed it it came out last Thursday. Okay.
That was like last Friday.
So that was a 10-year bottled and bond. And today we're going to be looking at just their sour mash bourbon whiskey. Which is weird because you can't actually find this on Buffalo Trace. Is that the website? Is that who? No, Heaven Hill. Can't find it on the Heaven Hill. You can only find the 10-year. So I'm not sure what's the deal with that. But this is distilled by Henry McKenna Distillery in Bardstown, which is owned by Heaven Hill.
So is that like a one-time deal, maybe? That
I don't know. Maybe because there's plenty of people that watch this from Kentucky and maybe a little bit more knowledgeable about this could tell us. Maybe I'm completely off and it's not associated with Heaven Hill. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, this is an 80 proof sour mash bourbon. I've seen the age variations from 6 years to higher. Not sure. They don't do an age statement on this, so we're just gonna say no age statement. I think to qualify as a bourbon, it's got to be 2 years. But I've read some things and seen some indication that there is a 6-year on it. But we're going to say a no age statement. $25.99. $25.99 puts it as a 3-barrel. That's a pretty decent price for a Kentucky bourbon, I think. I think you can go with a Evan Williams or Early Times or so. I think Early Times is Kentucky.
well,
A little bit cheaper, but
I mean, there is some inexpensive Kentucky bourbon.
yeah. But this is not too bad of a price. And I think it's pretty available. And it's available at the price I said of $25.99. We discussed in the last episode that the Henry McKenna is not readily available. It's and not at the price that it should be.
So if it's readily available, it's not a one-off. It's something that they're distilling regularly. Then.
Right. So this does say Heaven Hill Distillery in Bardstown, and this says the McKenna Distillery in Bardstown. So they could be actually separate. I don't know. That's something that I'm gonna have to research. I mean, I looked. I just didn't see.
Couldn't find anything.
Yeah. But we know that this is running about $100 here locally. So 3-barrel, $25.99. All right, I think I'm set. And then if our studio audience would pass us a couple wheeze, we'll try this compared to the 10-year. Okay, we're pretty similar on this. So $25.99 is a 3-barrel in cost. I give it a 3 on aroma. I think it's got a pleasant bourbon-esque aroma of chocolate and caramel and some dark fruit action.
I did the caramel and stuff, but it does also have the alcohol-y, like...
It's really weird how when we drink these, we kind of get the opposites on that. Because sometimes I pick it up really easy as being that very alcohol, almost medicinal, rubbing alcohol type of thing.
Yeah.
Ethanol. And you don't. And then on other ones, you get it and I don't. Because I don't really get it.
Yeah, see, I get it on this one, but I do get the caramel and kind of I do get the dark chocolates.
And this is typical bourbon to me because it's also got a little bit of woodiness to it.
It's not unpleasant.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it smells good, and it's like...
Yeah.
Kind of discern everything. It kind of makes you...
If you were doing a blind test of liquor and smell this, you would know it's a bourbon.
When you try to discern stuff, sometimes you might overthink it.
Right.
Or something.
Flavor, I gave it a 3. You gave it a 3.5. I think it's kind of got a mellow, blandish flavor to it. It's kind of like it's just there, but it's not unpleasant.
It's kind of got a rich flavor.
To you?
To me. It's not like rich. It's just like a thick feel on your tongue. It's just...
I added a little bit of water, and I'm kind of getting some hints of spearmint on the flavor.
Put the water on there.
Not on the nose, but on the palate. A little bit of spearmint action going on. I gave it a 4. That's probably the first time I've ever given a higher rating on bite than you. You gave it a 3. And it's because you are getting that alcohol sense.
Yeah, I don't... My bite is just kind of right there.
Either way, I get a 13, you get 12.5. It's a 3. It's a solid 3. So not too bad. Let's go ahead and compare it to my super rare. Can't get in Texas at a decent price. The 10-year.
I like the mini weak herons, but it might not give you the smell that you want.
So to me, it took a bit, but this definitely has a much stronger, richer aroma to it of all those notes.
And it smells more brown sugary, kind of.
Yeah,
maybe more chocolate.
Yeah, that chocolate, caramel, brown sugar. That's the sweetness that you're getting.
And I think with the mini weak herons, it's kind of shooting the alcohol more in. Because I put the water in this, now it's a little more mild. But with the mini, it's...
But you've also already have alcohol on your palate.
Yeah.
So when you're starting to smell this, you should be picking up newer notes because of the notes you've already discerned in that. So when you're doing your test, especially when you have a flight, the reason you want to do all the aromas ahead of time before you taste is because once you get that note and then you move to another one, your brain's already registered that note, so now it's going to pick up new notes.
And this is way more richer. And this is a better whiskey. Not saying this is a bad whiskey.
Right. Yeah, this is where I said this was kind of mellow and bland. Not this one. Blend them? No.
This has more of a bite.
Yeah. I think this is 100. Yeah, this is 100 proof, and this is only 80.
That's why this has, but I'm saying both of them are really good.
Yeah, if you're on a budget, this one. If you can find this one. So MSRP for this one, we have it at $25.99. MSRP for this one is probably under 20, because you always have in Texas we have a little bit of a rise in prices. This one MSRP I think is about $35.40, and you can't find it for, if you find it at all, you can't find it for less than about $100 here in Texas. In fact, I bought this in Louisiana a couple weeks ago, and I found this at $48, I think. But then the next store had them all for $100. So it's just where you can find it and pick it up. But this is extremely sought after right now. I don't think this is.
And I would not spend $100 to get this.
No, I think there are some mainstream distilleries in America that I might eke out $100 for. Like if I found a Pappy at MSRP, yeah, I'd buy it. There might be some distillery onlys I'd eke out $100 for. There are some craft distilleries in America that I might possibly, but not. It would hurt. But when we come to scotches and stuff, I'd probably eke out $100 for some good scotches.
I complain about the craft distilleries. It's $50. It's a craft distillery. It's $50. So I'm like, come on, guys, like work with us a little bit.
Well, but they are having problems. I think once craft distilleries finally, because I've actually noticed a price decrease in most of the craft distilled stuff lately. Not some of, like here in Texas, there are some big name craft distillers like Balcones and Garrison. But even Balcones has dropped in price in some things. Because they were the $60 or $70 group, and now you can get them cheaper. So,
and it depends on where you go, because some of the liquor stores are like,
oh, definitely depends on demand. There's so much stuff going on. So, I give it a thumbs up for this McKenna, even though it's got a rating of 3. I think it's worth picking up
for $30. Yeah. I mean, it's.
I really want to know what the difference in distilleries is now. So once we're done with this episode, I'll probably go look at. I mean, I did. I looked. I researched and didn't research hard enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, if you were offered this, same price, everything flat, which one? The 10 or this?
This one or that one?
Yeah.
I would go for the other one.
The 10 years, definitely,
Yeah. But this is by no means not shabby whiskey. It's good.
I think there is a different. I don't think they have a small batch. I think the sour mash, which, pretty much all bourbon is sour mash. It's just a gimmick. I think they have this. I think they might have a rye. I think they have one other iteration.
I'd be interested in the rye. You know how I feel about rye. I like rye.
Yeah. Tell us what you think about Henry McKenna, and which do you prefer. Can you find this one? Can you find the 10-year? We'd really like to know, especially if you're in Texas. Tell us where. No, don't tell us.
Email us where you can get.
Tell us what you think, because there's not a lot of people talking about this one. Make sure you check out Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, merchandise.
New shirts.
Old shirts. And remember, there's no bad whiskey. There's only good whiskey and great whiskey. And this is good whiskey.
This is good.
Yeah.
I would say this is good
for the price point.
+1.
Yeah. For the common man. So cheers.
Laters.